I never thought betrayal could taste like Chanel No. 5 and stale coffee. But there I was, staring at my own mother's face on a glitchy overseas feed, auctioning off my goddamn childhood like it was estate sale fodder. She'd always said family was everything, but while I was dodging IEDs in the Syrian desert, she turned my room into a viral spectacle. Bed, posters, that ratty teddy bear from Dad's funeral, all up for bids to the highest TikTok troll. And the kicker? She did it live, smiling like she'd won the lottery, while I, Corporal Cora Hale, rotted in a body that wasn't mine, plotting a revenge so cold it'd make the devil sweat. It started with a whisper in the windswept dunes of Altamf, where the air smelled like diesel and despair. I'd been deployed 6 months, leading a squad of grunts through patrols that felt like herding cats in a sandstorm. Mom, Eleanor Hale, queen of the PDA and suburban real estate hustler, called every Sunday, her voice syrupy with "I miss you, baby girl," and updates on the house back in Elmwood, Ohio. "The roof's leaking again," she'd say, or "neighbor's dog dug up the tulips." Harmless shit. Until the stream hit my burner phone at 0200 hours, courtesy of a stateside buddy who'd screenshotted it for the laughs. There she was, perched in our living room like a QVC host, the camera angled just so to frame the open door to my old room. Welcome back to Hale House Hall, folks. Tonight's star is this authentic millennial teen cave. Think Nirvana meets desert camo. Starting bid, $50. The chat exploded. LMAO deployed kids junk? Gold. Is that a Purple Heart ribbon? Edgy. My stomach twisted as she panned the lens over my desk, where my high school diary sat cracked open like an accusation. She'd promised to keep it locked away. Safe, she'd sworn when I shipped out. But there it was, pages fluttering in the AC breeze, secrets spilling for strangers. I slammed my fist into the plywood bunk, the impact jarring through fingers that didn't feel like mine anymore. That's the part no one believes, the body swap. It sounds like a bad sci-fi flick, but in the chaos of that forward operating base, with Black Ops whispers and experimental gear from some DARPA wet dream, it happened. One night, after a recon gone sideways, I woke up in Sergeant Jax Harlan's skin. 6'2", buzzed head, a face scarred from Fallujah that stared back from the mirror like a stranger's mugshot. Harlan, my CO's right-hand man, the guy who'd pinned a medal on me last month, was gone, vanished into my 5'4" frame, or so the logs said. Panic rippled through the unit. Freak accident. They called it. Some neural disruptor from a captured drone. But I knew better. Eyes in the shadows had watched us too closely. From Harlan's body, I moved like a ghost, muscles memory locked to his combat roles and marksmanship. My squad thought I was him. Hell, even I almost bought it after the first week. But inside, Cora screamed. I hacked the SATCOM lines, pieced together Mom's stream from fragmented packets. That's when the betrayal sank its teeth in. Not just the auction, though that was a knife twist, but the why. Buried in the chat replies, a donor popped up. Bidding for the Hale Foundation? What's that about? Foundation? Mom hadn't mentioned shit about one. Digging deeper via smuggled VPN, I uncovered the Shell Corp. Eleanor Hale Memorial Fund. For veterans' widows, my ass. It was a front, laundering kickbacks from her real estate flips, properties she'd acquired cheap from foreclosed GI families, including Dad's old buddies. Dad, the secret she'd buried deeper than his casket. He didn't die in that car wreck when I was 12, like the police report said. No, Eleanor had him declared dead to cash in on the life insurance. $2 million. Poof. Gone into her investments. But Dad? Alive, hidden in a nursing home under alias, tubes snaking from his arms because she'd poisoned him slow with fentanyl-laced meds to keep him quiet. A mistake I'd covered for her, back when I was 18 and green, forging that signature on the cremation order because she sobbed about starting over for you, Cora. I'd enlisted to escape the guilt, thinking military structure would sand down the edges. Instead, it deployed me straight into her web. The auction peaked at $3K, chump change to her, but the stream's virality? That was the hook. 10 million views by dawn. Hashtags like deployed dump and mom wins trended. Comments poured in, savage queen. This is why I hate boomers. Controversy brewed, armchair activists calling for military intervention, but Eleanor basked in it, her subscriber count exploding. From my borrowed body, I watched, rage coiling like barbed wire. Harlan's fists clenched, veins popping under skin that itched with wrongness. I needed back in my own flesh, needed to confront her face to face. But first, intel. I sweet-talked a FOB hacker kid into tracing her IP. Straight to the house. No surprises there. What did surprise? The donor logs. Big fish nibbling, senators' packs, defense contractors. Mom wasn't just flipping houses. She was wheeling and dealing with the brass who funded our ops. Nights blurred into strategy sessions in my head. Harlan's tactical brain syncing with Cora's spite like oil and fire. I filed anonymous tips through military channels, but they bounced. Eleanor's fingers in too many pies, including my CO's golf buddies. Stand down, Harlan. Came the encrypted order. Bullshit. I went rogue, smuggling a neural scanner from the med bay, the same tech that had swapped us. If it could flip bodies, maybe it could flip him back. But risk? Catastrophic. One misfire, and I'd be a vegetable in Harlan's husk. Worth it. For the truth, for Dad, for the room that held my sanity's last threads. Yeah. By week 3 of the stream scandal, the brass caught wind. A JAG lawyer, Captain Reese, all Ivy League polish and 0 field time, demanded a welfare check. Corporal Hale's assets liquidated without consent? Potential fraud. Eleanor laughed it off on air. It's decluttering, sweetie. Cora would want me to move on. Move on. The words echoed Dad's last slur before the accident. I patched into the call log, heart hammering as Reese's voice boomed through her speakers, live for the world. Ms. Hale, this is Captain Elias Reese, U.S. Army JAG. We're investigating the unauthorized sale of military personnel property under Title 10. Cease immediately or face charges. The chat detonated. OOF, Mom's busted. Go Cora. Eleanor's mask cracked, lips thinning, eyes darting off camera. This is a misunderstanding. My daughter's room? It's therapeutic. Therapeutic, my ass. I grinned in the mirror, Harlan's crooked scar twisting. Time to escalate. I ghosted stateside on emergency leave. Harlan's credentials opened doors Cora's never could. The swap held, but cracks showed. Phantom pains in my real ribs when Harlan's old wounds ached. Dreams where I reached for my reflection and grasped smoke. FOB shrinks called it dysphoria echo. Prescribed benzos I flushed. No time for haze. I landed in Columbus under alias, rented a beater Civic with cash from a poker scam on the flight, and drove the 5 hours to Elmwood like a man possessed. Harlan's broad shoulders hunched over the wheel, aviators hiding eyes that burned with my fire. Elmwood hadn't changed, strip malls bleeding into cornfields, American flags limp in the humidity, the kind of Midwest nowhere where secrets fester like untreated wounds. Mom's McMansion loomed at the cul-de-sac's end, fresh paint gleaming under solar lights, her Tesla charging in the drive like a middle finger to Dad's old F-150 rusting in the barn. I parked 2 blocks out, scoped the place through binoculars. Delivery vans came and went. Auction winners claiming their vintage hauls. My teddy bear? Shipped to some influencer in LA for rehab aesthetic. Diary. God knows. The thought of strangers pawing my confessions, first crushes, enlistment doubts, that forged signature, ignited something primal. Infiltration was Harlan's game. I scaled the back fence at midnight, night vision borrowed from a supply depot buddy who owed me, well, him, a favor. The yard smelled of her prize roses, thorns snagging Harlan's camis like accusations. Kitchen window unlatched, sloppy, Mom, always the weak lock. Inside, the house hummed with her empire. Marble counters cluttered with ring lights, a wall of framed before/after house flips, each one a widow's tears monetized. Upstairs, my room gaped empty, walls stripped to studs, dust motes dancing in moonlight like ghosts of better days. She was turning it into an office, blueprints tacked up, Hale Holdings HQ. I rifled drawers in her master suite, silk blouses reeking of that perfume, safe cracked with Harlan's lockpick kit. Patered. USB drives labeled contingencies. Plugged into her iMac. Password. Cora Bear, the bitch. Files unfolded like a house of cards. Emails to lobbyists. Donation in exchange for zoning variances. Vets homes first. Bank transfers to offshore accounts. Dad's insurance seed money ballooned to 8 figures. And the poison logs. Pharmacy scripts for chronic pain, but dosages lethal over time. She'd dosed him for years, keeping him vegetative in that home, billing Medicaid while pocketing the rest. The crime I'd shouldered? Not just the forgery. I'd testified at the inquest, perjuring that Dad was suicidal, depressed from his Gulf War PTSD. For the family, she'd cooed, an idiot me believed it. Deeper, the swap intel. DARPA memos, redacted but leaked. Project Echo, neural transference for enhanced interrogation. Harlan wasn't random. He was a test subject, volunteered, or coerced, for field trials. And Mom, connected via a contractor uncle, feeding data for her foundation's grants. She'd known about the risks, pulled strings to embed me in that unit. Betrayal's layers peeled back. She'd sacrificed her daughter for a payout, betting the swap would kill me. Or worse, leave me trapped, assets hers to liquidate. Footsteps on the stairs. Her, humming off-key to some true crime pod. I melted into the closet, Harlan's breath steady, mine ragged. She entered, robe slipping off one shoulder, scrolling her phone. Views are through the roof, Ellie. That lawyer prick? Just free press. Voicemail from Reese. Subpoena incoming. Produce all records. She deleted it, poured a nightcap, top-shelf bourbon, Dad's brand. To new beginnings, she toasted the mirror, lips curling in that smile that once meant bedtime stories. I waited till she slept, deep and dreamless under Ambien. Then, the controversial call, mercy or message. I chose both. Injected a microdose from her own stash, enough to mimic a stroke, not kill. Watched her twitch, phone tumbling. 911 on speaker, help. Can't move. Paramedics swarmed at dawn, sirens shattering the neighborhood's facade. I slipped out the back, heart pounding with Harlan's adrenaline, Cora's vindication. But revenge? That was just foreplay. The stream's backlash had summoned wolves, veterans groups picketing her office, reporters sniffing the foundation's rot. Reese's team subpoenaed everything, but without the USB, it'd be her word against ghosts. I couriered it anonymously to his office, enclosed a note. From the daughter you couldn't save. Dig deeper. Controversial? Hell yes. Impersonating an officer, tampering with evidence, dosing your own mother. But in America's underbelly, where flag-draped coffins fund mansions, lines blur. Back in the Civic, I drove to the nursing home, Shady Oaks, a euphemism for hell and strip mall purgatory. Dad's room, beige walls, TV droning Fox News, him shrunken in the bed, eyes vacant but flickering when I entered. Hey, Pops. It's me. His hand, frail, liver-spotted, squeezed mine, or Harlan's. Tubes gurgled, monitors beeped. I confessed everything, voice cracking in this baritone cage. She did this. For money. I'm fixing it. He nodded, or tried, a tear tracking down. The secret unburied. He'd confronted her years ago about embezzling from his unit's relief fund. Her response? The wreck staged, me the patsy. I unchained him. Literally, wheeling him out under Harlan's MP credentials, claiming transfer orders. Staff bought it, bureaucracy's blind spot. We hit the road south, toward a safe house in Kentucky I'd scrounged via vet networks. Dad mumbled fragments. No. Swap. Warned her. Echo Project was an accident. Mom had greenlit my exposure, hoping the freak out would net sympathy donations. Powers puppet master. Eleanor Hale, suburban spider with DC threads. The antagonist loomed larger than I'd dreamed. Her uncle, Colonel Vance, DARPA liaison, Harlan's handler. Emails showed him coaching her. Contain the asset. Hale girl's body, viable for auction. My skin crawled. They'd planned to harvest me. Organs, data, whatever black budget bullshit. Twist of the knife. Harlan wasn't victim. He was in on it, swapped willingly to infiltrate, but the device backfired, trapping his mind in my frame. Was he fighting back from inside me, or puppeteering? Doubt gnawed as Dad slept in the passenger seat, oxygen tank hissing. Controversial decision 2. Terminate the swap, risks be damned. I sourced a black market scanner from an ex-DARPA defector in Cincy, 50 grand, Harlan's poker winnings. Set up in a motel off I-75. Wires, capacitors, a hum like angry bees. This could fry us both, the tech warned. I strapped in, Dad watching with watery eyes. Do it for the truth. Pulse of light. Agony like birth in reverse. I blacked out screaming. Woke to my own hands, small, calloused from rifle grips, nails chipped purple. Cora. Harlan's body slumped opposite, eyes fluttering open, his eyes, not mine. What the fuck? He rasped in my old voice. Relief warred with rage. He was an ally, Confession spilled. He'd seduced Mom years back, affair birthing the scheme. She promised me a cut. The swap? To ghost you, inherit clean. Betrayal squared. But power shifted. I zip-tied him, left him for Reese's team, anonymous tip, again. Dad and I vanished into witness protection light, a cabin in the Smokies. Mom. Stroke, recovered, enough for trial. Foundation crumbling under audits. Vance. Indicted for echo fraud. The stream? Her downfalls montage, remixed into protest anthems. Yet the hook lingered. As leaves turned, Dad's stories filled gaps. Mom's rise from trailer trash to mogul, fueled by his silence on her first thefts. Was she monster or survivor? Controversial to the end, I visited her in county, post-conviction. Why Cora? She wheezed, handcuffed to the table. For us. I leaned in. There is no us. Walked out, the doors clang my last word. Or was it? Harlan escaped custody, whispers of Vance's hit squad. Revenge's cycle spins. In America's dark heart, justice is just another auction. The Smokies' cabin smelled of pine sap and regret, a far cry from the sterile FOB bunks or Elmwood's air freshener haze. Dad settled in slow, physical therapy via smuggled VA docs, his stories the real rehab. Evenings by the fire, he'd recount the affair's origin. Mom, fresh from community college, waitressing at the VFW hall where Dad's unit decompressed. Eyes like daggers, Cora. Cut through the bullshit. She'd latched onto him. Then his pension checks, siphoning for courses that never happened. When he pushed back, the wreck, tires slashed, brakes failed, him surviving by miracle, her spinning the tale to cops. I'd stare into the flames, Harlan's betrayal a fresh scar. In my body again, movements felt clumsy, balance off, like relearning to walk in heels after years in boots. But freedom's edge sharpened everything. Birdsong piercing, coffee bitter, Dad's laugh a gut punch. We fished the Nantahala, him casting weak but true, me gutting trout with a pocket knife. You're her spitting image, he'd say, meaning strength, not schemes. Lies I told myself once. Word from the network. Mom's trial loomed, federal court in Cleveland, wire fraud, elder abuse, conspiracy with Vance. Reese called my burner. Hail, we need your testimony. The room auction? Tip of the iceberg. I demurred, voice steady. Send the brief. Pages arrived via dead drop, depositions painting her as mastermind, Vance the muscle. But footnotes nagged, redacted DARPA logs, hints of higher-ups. President's pardons in the air? Powers tendrils. Controversial decision 3, go public. Not as victim, but avenger. I scripted a tell-all stream, ironic, flipping her weapon. From deployed to discarded, a daughter's fight. Set up in the cabin's loft, webcam angled to the misty ridges. No face at first, just voice, distorted. Launch at midnight, syncing with her arraignment feed. Views climbed. Vets sharing, influencers amplifying. This ain't about junk furniture, I growled. It's about a mother who sold her kid's soul for a Tesla. Chat lit up. Spill the tea. Is this real? Burn her. Mom's lawyer, slick suit, ex-SEC, objected on air, slanderous. Ms. Hale's actions were entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurial. The word curdled. Cut to her in orange, hair limp, denying everything. Cora's unstable. PTSD delusions. PTSD. She'd weaponized my service, the very thing I'd buried to protect her lies. Rage boiled. I unmasked midstream, face filling the frame, bruised from the swap's aftershocks, eyes like Dad's. Gasps echoed virtually. It's me, and I'm taking it back. The twist hit like a frag grenade. Harlan, loose from custody, courtesy of Vance's goons, hijacked the feed. His face, in my old body, superimposed. Lies, all of it. Cora's the thief. Bullshit real. Forged vids of me signing the insurance fraud, me dosing Dad. Deep fakes, DARPA grade. Chat fractured. WTF, plot twist? She's guilty? Mom's camp pounced. Bail hearing rushed. I scrambled, Dad's hand on my shoulder. Truth's in the blood, kid. We hit the road again, evading shadows, black SUVs tailing on twisty byways, Vance's contractors with itchy triggers. Climax brewed in Pittsburgh, neutral ground. Reese arranged a sting, me as bait, testifying under protection. Courthouse loomed gothic against the steel sky, protesters chanting outside, justice for Hales, split signs for Mom and me. Inside, the gallery buzzed. Reporters, vets in faded caps, Mom's PDA, coven glaring daggers. I took the stand, Harlan's training kicking in, posture straight, voice level. She auctioned my room to launder blood money. Dad's alive because I unchained him from her cage. Cross-exam, her lawyer, smirking. And the body swap, Ms. Hale? Hallucination from deployment stress. Snickers rippled. I locked eyes with Mom, pale but defiant, mouthing liar. Then, the reversal. Vance, in custody orange, wheeled in for joint hearing. His testimony cracked the facade. Echo was sanctioned. But Eleanor, she volunteered her daughter. For the data harvest. Gasps. Deepfakes? His tech, but Mom's script. To erase Cora, inherit clean. Harlan was the mule. Mom lunged, chains rattling. You promised. Chaos. Bailiff swarming, judge banging gavel. The buried secret erupted. Not just Dad's fake death, but mine planned. She'd dosed my canteen pre-deployment, microneurotoxin to prime the swap, ensuring I'd volunteer in delirium. The mistake I'd borne? My entire enlistment, a suicide march orchestrated. Power's pinnacle, she'd bedded Vance too, trading flesh for favors, birthing a network that preyed on her own. Harlan burst in then, my body, wild-eyed, gun drawn from a guard's holster. For the cut, shots rang, ricocheting off marble. I dove, tackling him. Old reflexes sinking, Cora's grit versus his bulk. We grappled, faces inches. You were me, I hissed. Felt my pain. He laughed, blood bubbling. Felt your weakness. Reese's team swarmed, tossing him down. Mom watched, broken, empire ash. Twist's gut punch. Dad's whisper in the aftermath, medevac chopper whirring. She wasn't always poison, Cora. Saved me once, from the bottle, post-Gulf. Flashback flooded. Young Eleanor, nursing him through shakes, building their life. The betrayal? Born of desperation, spiraling when the money dried. Controversial to forgive? Hell yes. But as her sentence loomed, life, no parole, I visited again. Why tell? She rasped. So you know, monsters make monsters. But you broke the chain. Ending teetered. Happy, with Dad's health ticking up, cabin life a quiet win? Or tragic, Vance's shadows lingering, Harlan's ghost haunting my scars. Readers will argue, justice served, or cycle unbroken. Me? I auctioned her Tesla on eBay, proceeds to vet's real funds. Full circle. In America's tense undercurrents, revenge isn't closure, it's the spark. But wait, Harlan's last words, gurgling, the swap, isn't over. Chills. Mirror check. Eyes mine, but a flicker? Doubts the real antagonist. Smoke curled from the cabin's chimney like unanswered questions, 6 months post-trial. Dad thrived, fishing stronger, stories sharper, even flirting with the local librarian over pie at the diner. Elmwood faded to rumor. Mom's mansion foreclosed, auctioned to a co-op for displaced vets. Vance rotted in Leavenworth, Echo dismantled, but DARPA's ghosts whispered of sequels. Reese promoted, sent holiday cards. You gave us Hale Holdings guts. Nation owes you. Oh, the word chafed. What nation greenlit a mother's matricide plot? I rebuilt piecemeal. Honorable discharge. PTSD waiver buried under NDAs. Therapy in Asheville. Circle chats with other echo anomalies. Swaps reversed or not. Harlan's body? Cremated. Ashes scattered in the Ohio River per my old diary's wish. But his echo lingered. Nightside wakes swinging at shadows. Muscles bulging phantom strong. Controversial decision 4. Love amid ruins. Met Riley at a vet mixer. Ex-Marine, tattooed quotes from Whitman, eyes that saw through bullshit. Heard your stream, she said, beer foam on her lip. Ballsy. We hiked the Appalachians, her hand in mine grounding the drift. Sex was tentative, bodies reclaiming. Mine hesitant, hers patient. You're Cora, she'd murmur. All of you. Yet tension coiled. Anonymous tips, Hale loose ends. Mom's appeals dragged, her letters smuggled via inmates. Please turning venom. You stole my life, like I stole yours. Buried secret's final layer. A half-sister, from Vance's fling with her. 22, in witness protection, unaware. Did I reach out? Debatable ethics. Expose her to the rot? I wrote once, burned it. Power's residue. Even in chains, she spun webs. Climax redux hit in spring, dogwoods blooming bloody pink. Cabin phone rang, Block number. Cora Hale. Voice synthetic. Vance's cadence. Echo 2.0. Your mother's key. Heart seized. They had the device. Refined. Mind uploads now, not swaps. Target? Me, to test stability. Riley and I bolted, Dad to a safe flat in Knoxville. Road tripped west. 40 bleeding into Tennessee hills. Black SUVs in the rearview like bad dreams. Why us? Riley gripped the wheel, her cig under the seat. Because I exposed them. And she sold the blueprint. Standoff in Memphis, Beale Street's neon ironic blaze. We holed up in a flop above a blues bar, bass thumping like artillery. Reese's cavalry, FBI TAC team, but leak suspected. Midnight breach, door splintered, shadows in TAC gear. Gunfire stitched the walls, Riley barking orders. Flank left. I rolled Harlan style, popping shots from the fire escape. One down, Vance's protege, tattooed with echo sigils. Interrogated at gunpoint, Eleanor's out. Deal for testimony. Twist reversed. Mom, paroled on health grounds, vanished post-raid. Her play, feigned stroke again, slip custody with insider grease. The antagonist reborn, not scheming mogul, but feral survivor, allying with remnants for one last score. Upload me, ransom dad, half sis's bait. Powers ma, she'd birthed it in me, now devoured her too. Confrontation at Shiloh battlefield, ironic, blood-soaked ground. Dusk, cicadas screaming, her silhouette by the peace monument. Frilier, but eyes steel. Daughter, in this. Riley covered from the tree lean, Dad safe via decoy. We circled, words weapons. You auction me first, I spat. Room, body, soul. She laughed, hollow, survival, Cora. Your father's debts, Gulf War grift, he owed Vance everything. Reversal's knife, Dad wasn't victim, he'd run the original scam, Mom cleaning up. The mistake? Mine alone, believing blood bound us. I lunged, not for kill, but the drive in her pocket, echo fob. Struggle raw, her nails raking, my fist glancing. For us, she gasped. Controversial apex. I triggered it, not on me, but her. Neural pulse, her body slumping. Mind trapped in limbo, Harlan's echo fate. Mercy? Or echo of her poison? Sirens wailed, feds swarmed. Vance's cell dismantled, half-cis located. Innocent, thriving in Cali. Ending fractures opinion. By tragic, Mom vegetative, justice pyrrhic. Or redemptive. Dad confesses, faces time, but we mend in fragments. Riley and I wed quiet, smoky sunset, her vows. To the body, the ghost, the fight. Half-cis visits, awkward but thawing. I stream no more. Teach self-defense to vets instead, scars as syllabus. But in quiet, doubt whispers. Is the swap truly done? Fingers twitch sometimes, Harlan's ghost or Mom's mind lingering. America's dark pulse, betrayal's rhythm, revenge's dirge. Readers debate, villain or victim? I choose survivor. The room? Rebuilt in memory, Teddy on the shelf. No auctions here. Fade to black, or just the next dawn.